Mimosa Moments with Jazz and Gina.
Well, come sit next to me. She thinks she's too cute for me. Well, welcome to Mimosa Moments. My name is Jasmine. Hey, Gina.
Hey, Jazz.
So, just to give a little bit of backstory, and then I'll let Gina talk a little bit, because you know I can run my mouth.
We both can.
So, we met a little while ago, maybe during the pandemic, I feel like. We had a conversation about overcomers. And so then I got a phone call a little while ago that said, you know, Gina was thinking about doing a podcast, and she wanted to know if you might be interested. I said, hell yeah. So we talked about it. We've been doing it for a minute, and I thought, you know, there needs to be a space where we can just talk about whatever the hell we want to, like we do at brunch, right? We swap stories about our lives, our current situations, what's going on, good stuff, bad stuff, and everything in between. And we drink a little bit, have a little French toast, right? Let our hair down and be who we really are. So can I get a hell yeah? That's why I love this one in the corner.
When I talked to Jasmine about it, I told her, you know, the thing about me and what you love and what we both love, we want to see just women coming together from all over. That's what WTS is all about. It's about women from all walks of life, sharing our stories, laughing as we overcome all this stuff. So most of you think, you know, oh, Gina's on, you know, social media and she's inspiring and she's empowering, but when I turn that camera off, I'm got to be more powerful moments. And that's why we have Mimosa Moments, because we want to have that space where we can come together and be true, be authentic, and just say, this shit is hard. Because it is.
My ass is tired. How about that?
And laugh about it. That's what we're going to take a sip and just, let's do that.
How about we all do a toast?
Yes.
Let's put it up for Mimosa Moments, and also just for ourselves. I ain't going to judge you with the coffee. It's okay. Anyway, let's do a toast and say cheers! Yeah!
Okay,
Yes.
with that,
and now,
tell me what we're going to do, girl. Tell me
let's get this part
what is our
started.
topic today?
So first of all, I do want you to know the conversations will be flowing. And it's going to be like an interactive thing, okay? So we're going to chit-chat about it, but we're going to expect a little bit of conversation from you guys, too. We might call on you. Now, if we step on your toes, just put them under the table or cross them, whatever is more comfortable.
And if you need a little bit of that liquid juice to come on with it, you just take a little bit of liquid courage and say,
yeah,
don't spill all the secrets, but give us a little bit of your mimosa moment.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Also, a little bit later on in the show, we have a very special guest that's going to come up and join us. And I have no doubt that you know who it is. I'm not going to spill it, but they're going to come up and enjoy a little bit of Mimosa Moments with us and share some things as well.
Yes, and you
Can I
all
get
know her
amen?
and you all love her.
Can I get amen?
Amen.
All right, so let's get this thing started.
Yes.
By the way, really quickly, because you know we love to drink. Me and her gonna toast.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers. Exactly. So we're gonna talk about a couple of things today. We're gonna talk a little bit about mother-daughter relationships. We're gonna talk a little bit about how social media, and I would imagine, how shall I say it? Old school people, not old, but just old school, traditional, going up against new school dating and relationships and all that whole crazy space, right? And the last thing on the list, we're going to talk a little bit about the myths when it comes to sex.
Ooh.
Notice how everything got quiet.
Not the myths.
And she tilted her hat like, Jesus, be offense. I get it, girl. It is what it is. But first, let's just dive right in and talk about mother-daughter relationships.
Okay, do we really have to?
We have to.
All right, let's
Now,
do it.
let me be transparent. I have a son. But you know I'm a daughter, and I know how hard I was. And so just looking on social media, just looking on the internet, watching all of the, variations of relationships. Why are mother-daughter relationships so difficult?
Okay, so you know, I think because we're women, we clash. We want to tell our daughters our stories of, look, I told you not to do that. And we do. We set different standards for our daughters than we do for our sons. We do. I'm more lenient towards my sons than I am towards my daughters. I have hard standards for my daughters.
Well, that's because your daughter can have a baby, right? That you don't want to take care of.
Which I'm doing.
Oh. Somebody's toes just got stepped on.
Okay.
Damn it. But the truth, this is the mystery for me. And again, anybody out there who has daughters. What I don't understand is we were once their age. So even if we had a difficult time with our mothers, as I did, I always thought, should I had a daughter, that I would be a little bit more understanding about what, girl, you looking down. You and your mama on the outs. Y'all on the outs, aren't you? Y'all not speaking. See, she was pointing. That's enough. Cold, I get it. But it makes you wonder, what is it about mother? Because I feel like it doesn't happen with father and son.
Well, not always.
Not-
So it's different. Fathers and sons clash, mothers and daughters clash. I have a great relationship with my sons. I have a, moment with my daughter.
So what the hell happened with you and your daughter?
It's what I just said. We have different standards. Women have different standards for their daughters than they have with my son. My sons could come in at 2 and 3 in the morning. If they snuck a woman in the house and he, had a little sleepover,
And you be okay with that?
I would say, why did you have to let them know you did that?
Does this really
my
happen?
girls do that, then I'm like screaming. If they were teenagers and did that, I am literally trying to kill them.
Okay, is there a
because they're
co-signer
girls.
out there? Who's on her side? Treat the daughter different than you treat the son. You are? Shame the devil. Why? Is it because women can have children and you don't want the daughter to come home pregnant? Or is it because you don't want her to have a bad reputation? Somebody explain it to me like I'm 3.
Yes. You know what my daughters, I used to tell them when they were teenagers, please don't bring whatnots to my home.
Whatnots? And what are what?
What not to wear, what not to say, what not to do. I know how I raised my husband and know how we raised our sons. So we expect them to treat a woman with chivalry, with kindness, with love. I don't know what somebody else did with their sons, so I have to teach my daughters.
I get that.
I have to teach my daughters how to uphold a standard that is so high that they are queens. And queens don't bow.
Amen.
Standard the way a man should treat a woman.
Yes.
That way she learns the standard, and that way another man can impress her.
Yeah, I like that.
That's
I
true.
think the other thing too, though, is I think you should, and again, I have a son, right? But my thing that I wish my mother would have taught me instead of just being hard and independent all the time, because I feel like that is how a guy treats me, like I can do it all by myself. I can't, but damn it, I don't want to. Sometimes I want you to do it. But if you're always hard, they feel like you don't need them and you don't need their help.
Oh, no. I know how to be hard, but also need to be soft.
So how do you balance being soft and not being like run over?
I think Gina has done a great job doing that for me personally, and I just, I could go into a fangirl club, but one way is to be specific. When I call her and I say, I don't like XYZ, and I'm complaining about my career or my leadership style, she will first listen to me, and I think that's the first step with the mom, is fully letting you get it out of your system so that you don't go cry on the shoulders of some boy, right? She does do that, but then afterwards, she then hits me with the hard truth, which I would rather someone in private, which is what your mother should do, before the world tears you up because everybody was too busy telling you and praising you. So she will be honest to say, now you know that ain't how you supposed to run that.
Now that was a mimosa moment. Give it up. That was good. That was good. But I do wonder, because I feel like at what age do things start to go wrong? And what age does it come back around? Because I found that for me and my mom, it wasn't until I was probably in my late 20s, early 30s, and I had done some living, that I realized, damn, she was right about a lot of stuff. So at what age do you think it comes back? Like, what age do you think that you and your daughter will be good?
You know what? So we're good. They just have to understand. So what they don't like, there is one queen in the house. That is going to be me.
You.
At all times.
So does that mean that she should
So-
leave at a certain age?
No, they are on their own, but there is still one queen. My husband is the king, I'm the queen. There are children. If they want part of what we have in our legacy, they will follow the rules.
Oh, shit.
Just like the royal family, or you get kicked out. How about that?
You got to go find your own country.
But there are rules.
Start your own queendom, if
And
you
yeah,
will.
and if you want to do that, there's your most moment. But if not, you will follow the guidelines and the rules, period. There is no option. My parents did it for me. I didn't like it, but it's worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
So I came back along. It's hard, but my mom and I had a little bit of confrontation until I was about 30,
In your 30s.
my 32, and I realized that woman was right.
Wow. Is it around the same age
100%.
for everybody in here, around in your 30s? Is that when you
Was
kind of
one-
wake
I was-
up? You think that's about right in your 30s? Yeah.
So when my babies call me and they do that, or they complain about their parents, or they say this, and I'm like, okay, well, here's what you have. You have options. You don't have to follow the rules.
Yeah.
You know, it's free will, but you can't.
But not in your queendom.
But you can't. That's it. And you can't go back and say, hey, Mom, I need my car. You know, I'm out here, but I'm a little short on my rent today. Or hey, Mom, I'm out here and I need my car note paid because. You know, and Mom had asked you a couple of questions. You want no questions asked. You can't do that. You know, you have to follow the
full
rules.
disclosure. Whenever I help my son, which obviously we're talking about daughters, but it always comes with, some kind of lesson,
Yes.
or either I'm gonna have to give you a verbal lashing. If you're asking me for money now, I want to know about your money management skills. You have a job. Why are you asking me for money? Mm-hmm. I mean, and I remember he had a roommate, and his roommate called and said, you know, your son is always late on his rent. And you know what I said? Kick his ass out. Why are you calling me?
Right. Well, in my home,
That's a whole
there is
nother
no such
conversation.
thing as politically correct. Is there, Brandon?
Brandon.
I say what I say how I want to say it, but I do it with laughter and love.
Now we're talking about daughters, but I think for sons too.
As far as
Like relationship. Like I believe that for some reason, daughters and mothers, kind of clash a bit. I don't feel like I see it a lot with sons and fathers sometimes, but I mean, even mom and son, like.
I mean, relationship, my mother's been great. As one, I was just always trying to get into stuff, but I don't know. She just had to make me feel loved, I guess. I don't know, but she's always done a great job at loving me. But there was a strong hand as well. A lot. So.
Could you see the difference between how she handled you and how she handled your sister?
Oh yeah.
Explain.
It benefited me in a better way. I mean, she was just always, on them, but whereas like her approach with me was a lot softer, not always as stern.
What I have done, I let them know, because I let my girls know. So my husband's a king. Brandon's second in line to the throne. And then there's Zachary. And I said, you know what? And they always say, he's your favorite. And I was like, he's not my favorite. He's the second to the throne. You will listen to him. You will follow in line with him.
So in other words, he's your favorite.
And he has to be there to help them whenever they need it. I tell him, you're a man. If your sisters call you, you better be there. You better do what your dad and I, if we're not here, you better make sure. And I tell him it's a lot of pressure on him. He knows it.
Wow. So now let me ask you this, and this is us having a conversation, and y'all are leaning in because we want you guys to participate too.
Yes.
That brings me to the second part of our show in terms of roles and traditional roles, and talking about tradition, period, right? Whether we're speaking about how you treat your children or in relationships. Because traditionally speaking, that would be right in line, right? Even when it comes to dating, right? You want the man to ask you out. You want him to pay for the meal, right? At least I do. Am I the only one? You better break your wallet out. I know what you're doing. So even when it comes down to dating, because that's where I am in my current situation, trying to figure out the whole dating thing, being a woman of a certain age, but still fabulous, right? Wondering, how, like we had this conversation about online dating. And my thing about online dating is it makes me nervous. I got about 25 profiles out there. None of them with a picture. Not one comes with a picture. And I know men are what? Visual creatures. But it feels like it smells of desperation to be online.
So we'll have to. You guys have to ask that one. I'm been out of the dating game so long.
She's like, I don't know. I'm married.
A little bit of my business. I was married 21 years. I've now been divorced 4.5 years. I met a gentleman 2 weeks prior to my divorce. I was separated almost 2 years. I met him 2 weeks after my divorce. We've still been dating. I met him online. Now, for me, I thought online was the best way because I'm very busy. I'm an entrepreneur. I have my own business. And that was the only way for me to be able to get out there and socialize, was to go online. To me, it made sense. I would come home, I would look at my profile, pour a glass of wine, and I would just scroll away. And I thought it was very entertaining. Swipe to the left, swipe to the right. I mean, I think the biggest thing now is being catfished, of course, or people putting false profiles up that's not really them. So I had things, and I did background checks.
So is that what single women
I have
are going
small
through
children,
now?
so I had to be smart.
I mean, is that what we're doing?
that
now?
what- is
who,
that what
who,
sing- who's
who has an
single in here
online
and has-
profile? Who's dating
Okay.
online right now? Anybody? You are?
She decided to go online dating, and guess, lo and behold, what happened? A year later, she's lost $1 million. Okay. She was catfished on online dating. If you ever go search,
Was this a Tinder swindler?
It's if you go and Google the woman behind the smile, her name is Debbie. She met the guy, became friend with him, and he kept telling her that he's got a lumber company and all this and that. And next thing you know, she was funding and helping him. They kept promises and promises, and millions of dollars. Like Lily, she had ended up lost. She's a good friend of mine. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. First of all, I feel so bad for your
Me
friend.
too. But I want to hear what's coming next.
But let me tell you something. Let me tell you 2 things, maybe 3. Don't you dare ask me for no damn money.
Okay.
I lost your mind. You could ask me for $5. I'm like, bitch, if you don't get away from me. And I just met you.
Right.
Online, in person, through a neighbor, through my mama.
What
Don't
not?
ask me for no
What
money.
not? What nots? What
What
nots?
nots?
What
Don't
not
you-
to say, what not to do.
Because how you start
what
is
not to
how
wear.
you finish.
That's it.
So
That's
if you
it.
start out asking me for money, this week it's gonna be $5. Next week your car broke down, you need $500.
Right.
Next week your mama's sick, you need $5,000.
Thank you.
Bitch, you need a job. This is out of control.
Yeah.
Well, I will say
No
though,
chain
the
restaurants.
young lady in the back has a point. What do you do? Because now that we are women of a certain age, I don't know how many people are single in here besides my ass, but you are busy. And you know, people always say you have to get out more, right? You gotta go places. I'll share something. What? We're friends. We're besties, yes? Let me tell you something. I live in LA. We already know what that means. So people keep saying you gotta go out more. You gotta be seen. So I'm like, okay, fine. Now you said this to me too.
I
Do you
did,
ever go out?
And you did it. And
This
so
is what I
let's-
did. I'm gonna share this with my closest friends in the room. I got up on a Saturday. I didn't even clean my house. Because you know, that's what we do on Saturday. We get up, we clean. I was like, no, I'm going to get in the shower. I'm going to get cute. I pulled out my freakum dress.
You did,
What?
honey.
Fix my hair, this mess on I fixed it up. And I went to the most exclusive
You
place in
did.
Beverly Hills.
Had your martini.
Crossed my legs and said, I'll have a slightly dirty martini, shaken, not stirred. Because, you know, I'm in the midst of, rich people. So I even said the ends of my words
Yes.
because I wanted them to know that I'm proper. Got my drink and, swirled it a little bit, sip, sip. Drink number 4, I'm still by my damn self.
And drunk.
And drunk. And mad at myself that I did all of that.
Oh, but you forgot the part where you said, Gina, and you said cross my legs.
I
showed a little thigh.
I did, because
I showed a
I
little
wasn't gonna tell
thigh.
all my business. We supposed to keep some of that private.
No. Mimosa moment.
Mimosa moment. So yes, I did. I hiked my skirt up a little bit more because I thought perhaps they didn't see all that I'm offering.
So from the guys in the audience, if you see Jasmine and she's at a bar, would you approach her? And
See? And that's
tell
what
me
happened.
why.
That's what happened right there.
I know why. I know why.
Well, let me drink
Would you
some more
approach
champagne.
her?
Ooh, I see 2 more back there. Jesus. Somebody talk to me. What
Yes.
happened? Where did I go wrong?
What-
Okay, you looking right at me. Lena, microphone to Teddy Pendergrass right here in the front.
Oh, no.
What happened?
You're at your mimosa moment.
Teddy Pendergrass, what happened?
Well, see, I'm married, but if I wasn't married,
Yes.
I wasn't married, perhaps you were a little bit too intimidating for the guys that were there.
But why?
But
Why
why?
do you see that intimidating?
Okay, first of all, I am married, but you are a very beautiful woman.
Is that your
And then
beautiful
you
wife
said
right there?
you put your freak dress on.
Yes.
You had your body out.
Yeah, not all of it.
Not
I had
all
to
of
keep
it.
some of them
Yeah,
secrets.
you were ready.
I was ready.
So the average guy saw you. He said, she's got money. She don't need me. She's very beautiful. I'm going to go to another
Low-hanging fruit.
Another situation that where it's maybe it's not so challenging. It's not so much work.
But see, you want to get him, Gina.
I'm just being
Who,
honest
does
with
somebody else want to get
Now
in-
you
right
hear-
here in the
now you
purple?
hear it, women.
Right here in the
You hear it,
purple.
women.
Lena, grab the mic from
Yes,
Teddy
we wanna
Pendergrass
hear it. Yes.
and bring it
Yes.
over here to Adele,
You
to
hear it,
Sade.
women?
Come on, look, address that, please.
Okay, for you to do the work, but you're being called to do the work on yourself.
Ooh.
Not for her.
Amen.
So you need to rise up to the occasion. Not you specifically, but,
But
you
men.
have that. But men, yes.
Right.
And you don't want the people who are intimidated by you.
Right.
You want somebody who's like, hey, I'm
Right.
confident. I have something to offer, and we're going to do something together.
See,
That's
because
it.
how you start
But
is how
that-
you
but those-
finish, though, right?
But it's hard to find those and who will feel like they're ready to take that risk.
Also, can I give some advice on online dating?
Yes.
So I met my husband on Bumble, the dating
Where the
app.
women make the first move, right? That's Bumble?
Yes, but it's also a little bit more private. So like they can't send photos, like it's way more, it's safer. And that's the reason I wanted to bring up with online dating. There's multiple apps. You have to look at their messaging. Tinder, the reason like a lot of online dating gets a bad rap is because Tinder is all about, you know, the weekend.
Quick.
Yeah, like you don't see them again after that. Where Bumble is all about, their messaging is all about marriage and all about dating and finding the person you love and yada, yada, yada. My husband is actually from Saudi Arabia that moved here to go to school. And we met that way.
Okay.
But he's more traditional. Like he took me out to be in a really nice place, wouldn't let me pay. Like he heard about the dating app. He was at a coffee shop and he heard some girls talking about it behind him, how much they liked the app. So he decided to download it because he's like, all right, well, other girl, Tinder has not done well. So like other girls are liking Bumble, and that's when we met. We met a couple weeks later.
And how many years?
4 years, going on 5.
Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
a mimosa moment.
And there goes my video. That is a mimosa moment.
Congratulations. And you had one?
I was just going to help your probability of meeting somebody online. I met my husband on Match.com.
Getting tips, Jazz.
You
So
did. I'm
did.
taking notes.
Right, take
I'm
notes.
taking notes.
And this was over 15 years ago. So, and we were embarrassed when people would ask us at first, but now it's so.
But I feel like
You know.
whenever I tell people I have profiles online, they kind of give me a look like, bless your heart.
That's a Texas thing.
Is it a Texas
Bless
thing?
your
If
heart.
they're single, they're on. They're just not
Probably, they're
being
not just not
honest.
telling it.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, I approached my husband online. So I would challenge you.
So
that
I should
way.
put a profile pic up is what you guys are saying.
You're going to need a picture.
I should put a picture
Yes.
up?
Yes.
Mimosa moment.
Mimosa moment.
I like it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
Yeah.
The gym ones? The gym pictures? Yeah, I don't either.
I'm trying to figure out why are you online anyway? You're married, so what you swiping? Now you just told off on yourself. Now, what were you?
It's brunch therapy. Maybe she's
Okay,
online in her
brunch
head.
therapy. What were you swiping? Yeah, keep it moving, friend. Keep it moving. but we already have our 6-month goal. In 6 months, what did I tell you? Yeah. But so Jasmine will no longer be single come 2020, but the end of 2023,
Yes.
she will not be single.
She made us, she's what she said.
Yeah, she will not
She
be
gonna work
single.
As we age, right? Like whether we're talking about sex or just relationships, like making that transition from, okay, well, I used to think I knew what I wanted. And then I moved into an area where I thought this is where I am. And then I think as you get older, you finally settle into, I think this is who I am.
I don't even think you go, I think. I know who I am.
Yeah.
At this age, I know exactly who I am, what I'm going to tolerate. I'm in menopause. Are you kidding me?
This is a good, juicy moment.
Yes.
So we were doing our show during our let's test it out phase.
Yes.
And she shared with me that she was in menopause. And I told her, I'm not in menopause, but I feel like I'm headed in that direction. And I'm terrified.
Don't be terrified of
I'm
it.
terrified.
It's nothing to be terrified of. Menopause is not anything. We just have to start talking about it. There are things that women need to know. Menopause is not a bad thing. It's not something we should be afraid of. It's something we should embrace.
So why does nobody say
women.
it? Look, they getting up and leaving right now because we done said menopause. Damn. So listen, this is the truth. I have never heard any of my friends or associates of my friends even say that word. Why?
Menopause.
Yes.
The only women that can relate are the women that's been through it. And each one of us have similar experiences. So I like to take a comedic approach to it. I was on a call with 12 women, coaching them through why they felt like they wanted to kill everybody in the house.
Yes.
And I said, listen, let's just simplify this. There's some things you just can't have anymore. It's like that ex-boyfriend calling. And you shouldn't let him come over at 2 a.m.
Right.
But you can't help yourself.
Same thing as a cookie. The cookies are calling you from the cabinet too. It's the same kind of vibe. And he's gonna come, leave with no money on the table. You lose both ways.
Yes.
Talk about menopause to your girlfriends. Talk to your friends. Talk to your family. Talk to Gina. And talk in mimosa moments.
That's it. Talk in mimosa moments.
Talk
to
in
your
mimosa
daughters
moments
about it
and
while they're
tell the
younger.
truth.
Yes.
Tell the truth.
Talk to them while they're younger so that they'll know that they're going through it.
I had no idea the panic attacks had anything to do. I just was like, oh, my dad died. I started having panic attacks.
I told you when we were talking, I said, I'm starting to have panic attacks. But my panic attacks are not, I want to kill other people. My panic attacks are, I think I'm dying.
Well, that too.
Like, I'm like, what's going on with my heart?
Right.
Can you hear it? It's racing. It's beating too fast.
Yes.
I think I'm going to die. And I go to the emergency room.
Okay, so just in the mic to Dina. Give me one of the stories for the women who come to the emergency room. Please.
She's like, I can't do it.
I can't.
Even blindly.
Thank you.
You can't do it.
So I'll give it to you. So Dina hates when we come to the emergency room.
Hey, Dina, that's me. I come.
When we want to come to the emergency room with the panic attacks saying we're dying, and then she says, ma'am, how old are you? I think I'm about to have a baby. How old are you? 48. Ma'am, dried up green eggs and hams can happen. She doesn't say it that way, but she calls later and she says, why do you old women still think you're fertile? Just because you look good on the outside, your eggs are dried up green eggs and ham. Stop
Powder.
running to the emergency room because you are having a panic attack. But we laugh about it, and so she had to tell me, Gina, get these tests done, have this done, and that's what we.
But that's why we need to talk about it.
You know what? We just had this conversation the other day in the beauty shop. It was about menopause. And I believe it really does need to be talked about. But I think when women hear menopause, they think, now I'm going downhill.
Yes.
Now my sex drive is gone. And so it was a lady sitting in a chair, and we call it personal summers. And so, we're going through a personal summer. She said, oh, no, I don't have that. So a lady said, you're going through menopause. Oh, no, I'm not going through menopause. So immediately it went downhill. And I asked her, well, what do you know about menopause? Because when I'm 56. And when I started going through menopause, the first question I asked my gynecologist was, is my sex drive gonna go? Because I'm married,
okay.
And so you have to start asking the questions. And she was like, no, but I had to open up a conversation. And I think that because it's a negative behind menopause, with now you're old, now you're dried up, and now your sex drive is gonna go. But it's people like us that need to initiate the conversation.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Agree.
And on that note, everybody say, menopause! Yes! So as the DJ gets the music queued up, why don't you go ahead and introduce our very special guest.
So for our very first live Mimosa Moments, we have the legendary woman in radio, comedy in Dallas, Texas, Nanette Lee!
Did somebody call my name? Did somebody call my name? DJ, turn this shit up, man.
There we go.
You white, you know how to do this. Come on, there you go.
There it is.
Come on. Thank you. Mimosa moment. Let's give a toast to the mimosa moment, y'all. Now, what we gonna talk about?
So right about now, you see this gorgeous bowl that I have right here. We're gonna play a little game called Sex, Lies, and Confessions.
Ooh, yeah.
You have to pull something out of here, and whatever you get, you have to tell us a story either about yourself, or if it's a lie, maybe it's a lie you told, a lie you heard, a lie that was told to you, or a lie you're thinking about telling. If you get sex, you got to tell us about some sex you've had, good or bad, some sex you want to have, some sex you heard about, some sex you saw. Different conversation. Confessions. I think that speaks for itself. All right.
Well, that one was sex, and that's
You have to give me here, you take lie, I take sex.
You got to go with what you're given.
Okay.
It's like life, I want to be 5'9", I'm not.
Yeah, I got lies. Gosh.
Tree of trust, we got you.
Oh yeah, I know. It won't leave this room in the cameras either.
It ain't going nowhere.
They're turning off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on, girl. Pick that.
I'm ashamed to say it, but I done started stealing now. Like Tom Thumb. That's my store right there. Everything is so expensive now, right?
Right. Inflation.
So, inflation, and all the stuff they have on the outside of the store.
Yes.
Like the water, the watermelon, and all that.
You see
pumpkins.
The pumpkins. So every time I push my basket going to the car and the guy's pushing my basket, I always say, baby, I forgot to get, you got to sound old when you say it, baby, I forgot to get my water. It's 3 for $10, and I can't lift that water. Can you put it in my basket? Yes, ma'am, Miss Nanette. And then I go into the basket, and then I say, baby, you know what? Every year, every season, I get something. I say, baby, you know I didn't get my pumpkins. It's 3 of them. Can you get my 3 pumpkins? Put them in. Yes, ma'am, Miss Nanette. And I'm ashamed to
So
say it.
you are a thief.
Yeah, and I stole some firewood too, baby. I forgot
Now
my
firewood is free.
Okay.
I don't care what they say.
Okay, so if that's
Steal it.
if that might fall under lie-in confession, because
No, friend, that's just confession.
Okay, well, I steal firewood every year. That's a confession and a lie. Okay,
And my confession is I'm an undercover cop.
I buy
Y'all both
one and
are
I
under
get one
arrest.
free.
Okay,
How about that?
so honestly, you have never stole anything out the store.
I have.
Tell the truth.
Okay, I swear on everything. The last time I stole something, I was probably about 7 or 8 years old, and I stole some candy from the store. I told my mama, I didn't ask her, I said, I want some candy. And she said, you can't have the candy. And I said, but I want the candy. Now, I knew if I acted up, she'd whoop me. So I was trying to save both of us. So I figured, well, let me just steal the candy. So I stole the candy. We get into the parking lot. We get into the car. I start eating the candy. And she's like, where you get that candy?
Yeah.
And I was like, from the store. She knew I didn't have any money. She took me back into said store, whooped my ass in front of everybody.
That's what I figured.
And I've
And
never stolen a thing
Okay.
since.
Okay, so tell the truth. When you go and get ice, you pay for 1 bag of ice, right? Don't you
Buy
get
one,
3?
get one free.
Buy one, get one.
Get
That's
one
still
free. Yeah,
stealing.
that's okay.
Uh-uh.
So let's
I
get
don't do it.
everyone's. Let's get because we've got to wrap
Okay,
up.
wait a minute.
So,
Who else in here is stealing? Raise your hand. You stealing too?
Nicole, I knew you was gonna raise your hand.
Okay, I don't do it. I don't do it.
No, I only say it's firewood because it's late at night. I purchased one the day before, and the manager even told me, we know you're getting that firewood, but I do get buy one, get one free.
Yes.
And they don't, that's not what they have. So I do take the firewood.
Let me tell you something. I won't, when we go to the movies, I won't even allow my assistant, who's from New York, so you know.
Movies?
They don't
You
play
pay for
around.
movies?
First of all, she wants to sneak snacks in. I'm like, no, ma'am.
Oh, I take a whole bag.
I'm
It's
not going to be
against
on the
law to
chain
bring
gang because
snacks.
you want to bring in
And
some
wine. You
chicken.
take you don't take your wine.
Yeah, you have to sneak snacks in. And I'm sorry.
I've been trying to save her some money.
Yes, and when I was a single mother, I snuck my kids into Six Flags, movies, Disneyland, and anything else.
Jazzy, I don't know who your friends are, but you're boring.
So does everyone else have?
We got one. We're going to go around. Just go around.
Come on around.
Everybody
We want
pick out
to hear
one.
and get the mic, and we want to hear your confession.
Why they
By
going
the way,
around?
Quickly, don't finger the bowl. Don't finger the bowl. Just pull one out and keep it going.
I've been married for 10 years with my husband for 11.
Okay.
And we like having sex going through the car wash. Okay, thanks.
Oh, wow. You might have taught us a little something.
Are the windows down?
Okay, later I'm going to get some tips.
Windows up.
My best friend, what did you get?
She got sex too. Your best friend, your bestie.
I think they put more sex in there.
Yeah.
Tell us about sex in the ER.
Okay, so confection, with sex, I don't care if I have it or not.
That's my best friend.
Okay, I have confessions. My confession is, in my marriage, I'm more of the man part when it comes to sex. I like having sex even when we mad. It don't matter what your mood is. I need to get it.
Get over here and give it to me.
And that's it.
Ooh. So wait. Leave the microphone right there. I like this one right here. So what do you say when he don't want to have sex? Give it to me. What do you say?
Yeah, and he was like, what, how we just had an argument and you want sex? I said, because that don't have nothing to do with what we got through doing.
So get it rocking and popping.
Yeah, so just, I want to have sex. I get turned on when I'm mad. I need to have sex. So just give it to me.
Do you grab him by the back of the neck?
So,
Too much. Sorry.
Don't get it.
So he's more, our roles are more.
It's PG. It's Mimosa.
I just
want to know. I want to know
Our
these
roles are
things.
more switch when it comes to sex. So,
So sometimes he has a headache. He just sees you coming like, damn.
Yeah, sometimes he does. And then I just tell him, you don't have to do nothing, just later.
I have confessions.
Confessions of a newlywed.
So
We from the newlyweds.
Yeah, so my husband is a inspector. He inspects elevators around the state. He doesn't work on them or install them. He inspects them.
Yes.
So last night when we got to the Statler, we shut down the elevator and had sex at the Statler.
There you go. I love it.
Yeah.
Without question.
I love it. Who's next?
I do have confessions, but
Okay,
I don't.
well, give us a confession.
Okay. Well, mine may be serious. I told you all earlier that I'm a mom of 3 boys, and my first pregnancy, truthfully, I'm a mother of 5. And so I lost one. Jalen was a twin, and I lost Jacob. Well, Jacob moved to heaven during delivery. And so it took me about 13 years to get over not breaking down, seeing someone with a set of twins.
Now that is
That's a mimosa moment.
and a beautiful one at that.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
We need some more on that note.
We need more of that. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a confession. So I've been married to my husband James. It'll be 16 years in January, and at this time we were just dating. And I had one of them women intuitions where I felt he was doing something, had something going on. So I go to his apartment. It's probably 1 o'clock at night. I had a key. I'm trying to get in the house. It's double locked. I'm knocking on the door. He's not answering. I'm calling. I can hear the phone ringing. No answer. Okay, so I leave. He lived on the 3rd floor. I leave. I go to Super Walmart. I go to the lawn and garden. I get one of those long, extendable ladders, like the super long ones. At the time, I had a little bitty car. I think I had a little Mirage. I bought the ladder. I went to his apartment. I extended that ladder.
This already sounds like a bad.
I climbed up on the patio, slid that patio door back, and went to work.
And y'all still married.
Still married. Still got married. Still ended up marrying him after
Mimosa moment.
Right.
Mimosa moment. All right.
Well, thank everybody so much for coming out. Thank you guys as well for joining us for our very first
This is wonderful. This is
live.
our very first launch, and
Yes.
more to come.
Absolutely. Our podcast is available. You can download it on all platforms. Please follow us also on social media at My Mimosa Moment.
Yes.
And also individually, I am Jasmine Sanders.
And I am at Women That Soar, I guess, because I'm not on social media, but that's where I guess I am.
And on all platforms, I'm Nanette Lee, Nanette
Yes.
Lee 1, and Nanette Lee.
Y'all know how
whatever.
to follow me.
Perfect. I love
Yes.
it. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you all so much.
for
We
coming
hope
out.
to see you
This is
tomorrow
the
at the
Mimosa
Women That
Moment.
Soar Awards. This is going to be our 15th annual. This is our farewell
Oh my God,
show, but
I'm so
it's not
excited.
going to be our last show. And we have some secrets that we're going to tell. Jazz and I are getting ready. You know, there's a lot. We're going to be doing tours. We're so excited about everything that's coming up.
But you guys were here first.
Yes, you
So
were here
cheers to
first.
you.
So just join us. Follow
Thank
us.
you so much.
Thank you.
Now let's party.
Gotcha.